Oh yes. I've already started
I
streaming,
might.
so go ahead. Yeah, start recording.
Hello.
Hello.
Jim started
Hi.
recording.
Oh, hi Jim. Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you, Jim, to the Space Game Junkie Podcast. I, as always, am your co-host Brian, and joining me as always is your co-host Jim.
Today in the news. I'm gonna start talking like a 1940s.
Like a 1940s newsreel guy.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, all the ships at sea.
It is true, actually, that I have perfected the transatlantic accent.
Today,
Something-
Tricky Chrissy talks about Star Citizen again. Oh no, where will it go today?
That was
Tricky Chrissy.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's the best insult I've ever heard.
I don't know.
It just popped out.
It just came
Wow.
out. It just came out.
The
That's
truth comes out.
I don't know. You know how they had names for things back then, like Tricky Dick, or whatever. So I don't know. Folks, we were supposed to have a guest tonight. We might
By
still.
the way, I'm Hunter.
Hi Jim. Hi Hunter. They're your co-hosts. I am sorry, folks. I'm one. I'm exhausted. Two. I have a cold. Three. I'm on all kinds of cold medicine right now. So woo. This is fun. We were supposed to have a guest. We might still have a guest tonight, but they have not shown up yet. So rather than starting a million years late, we just thought we'd start
And play
talk.
MechWarrior Living Legends.
Well, let's talk.
No.
Let's talk about what we've been playing.
MechWarrior
Well,
Living
actually, let's talk about Humble Bundle real quick.
What's Humble
Oh
Bundle?
Oh my gosh.
So on Humble Bundle, they are releasing the Crytek assets for CryEngine.
I saw that.
And
They should
I'm
call it
wondering
Crisis Mode.
I'm
Oh.
wondering if anybody has bought this for Chris yet so that he can start building his game.
Stop.
Wah, wah.
There's actually, isn't there an actual game in here? Yeah, there's that Nextwiz, whatever
That thing.
that thing, that
The
game
thing with the stuff.
Yeah, there's a game. There's a couple games in here. There's also is that an actual game? Rise, the Roman one? Is there an actual game of that in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually have it.
Oh, okay. Did you get this bundle?
No, but I have Rise. Our buddy Gage actually helped make that one.
Is it good?
It's entertaining. It's more what do you call that? Quick time actiony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gameplay?
it's Rise Son of Rome.
Yeah.
Is that the one? How
Yeah,
much?
yeah.
What at the pay anything level, or is it at the like $15 level or something?
Well, I got it on Bundle Stars for like $7 the other day. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's an okay game. It's like much better single player than trying to do multiplayer. But
Well, I mean,
'cause
yeah, 'cause
multiplayer is just
more or
arena
less
stuff.
Yeah, more or less it's just trying to tell a story. You're not really doing a lot of your own controlling, so.
Yeah.
So,
But
no, I did see this Humble Bundle, but I have no artistic ability, nor I wouldn't know how to create a game. So I'm like, nope, no, thank you.
just gift it to Chris.
I,
Hey, no, but seriously, speaking of games that we've been playing lately, Jim and I checked out MechWarrior Living Legends.
yeah, you guys have
and
been talking like nonstop about that for like a day or two
Speaking of
now.
Crisis, it's a mod for Crisis Wars.
Yeah.
And
See,
way more. It's like World of Tanks meets like MechWarrior meets EVE Online PvP. But don't let that dissuade you from playing it. I'm talking about tactics and organization and how they all work together as a team. It's pretty crazy. We got some videos up. Actually, you probably can check out the Space Game Junkie Facebook group. We got some videos in there of us playing.
Yeah, I was watching. I think I was watching Jim's stream the other day, and the maps especially looked really impressive, like big open.
Well, that's the
areas.
huge difference, right, between like MechWarrior Online and this thing.
Yeah.
Is that this game, and I was thinking about this specifically today while I was sitting at work doing stuff.
Yeah.
Is this game? It has these huge maps. And
How many?
locating
How
the
many?
enemy,
How many of them?
180 maps.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Doesn't it have like almost 200 of these maps?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically 172 more maps than MechWarrior Online. So
And about
Yeah.
108, and about 170, about 160 more than Hawken.
dude, the other night we were fighting in caves I was like, what?
Caves?
You know, yeah, there's caves and stuff.
What?
It's like it's crazy. There's like one map that's you're in a city.
All right.
There, you know, like all kind of stuff. So the one that I'm in right now is like a snow world map,
Mm-hmm.
and you know I'm walking around, and of course the trees are all destructible. You know, like I don't know,
Oh, you
what,
can shoot the birds
five
out of the
years.
sky.
Yes, you can, dude. That was amazing. I got my machine gun out and I was just kind of like splatting at birds, and they started dropping. And I'm like, oh my god, you can kill the birds like off in the distance. Yeah. So, but the thing about the game though is that you know mechs in BattleTech they have different roles, right? So you have your little lights scout mechs, and their job is to be quick and get out there and spot the enemy and let the big boys know where the enemy is, so you can be ready to deal with it.
Right.
And who sees who, it has everything to do with who wins, right?
Right.
So in this game, the scout mechs have a job. They go out and find the bad guys. And in MechWarrior Online, the only thing that they are is just like a harasser. You know, they just run around behind, and then they're hard to hit because they're fast and small, right? But somebody turns around and like plugs them, you know, and they die. But there's no role for them other than, well, we have to have 4 lights to launch a match. That's it, right? They're kind of fun, but really, I mean, give me a Warhammer every time, because I'll live forever in that thing, and I'm gonna
Right.
die.
I kind of like the
immediately in a
idea of
spider.
scouting. I kind of like the idea of rushing ahead and be like, okay, they're over here, run away.
Well, have you seen the Arma videos where the guys play Arma like serious army? You
A
know,
little
where they're
bit,
actually
yeah,
doing
they're-
radio calls and and they're playing
It's
it
like
like
we're
it's
heading
a
we're heading on the south, south grid. We're heading on the 9 line down this way and around the ridge.
Yeah,
Like
and
real
here,
tactical.
absolutely, and you can be in this thing and like you can have people playing artillery, like long tom artillery is in the game,
Wow.
and it's freaking
Planes,
devastating.
helicopters, hover
Yep.
tanks.
Wow.
all
Yeah,
of them.
it's got like the full assortment of tanks in there from the tabletop game. There's like a lot of, not everything, but a lot. And so what happened apparently is that Piranha Games, or it's probably IGP, Infinite Game Publishing, who was their master before, had came to them and said, "Hey guys, with that mod, yeah, cease and desist," right?
Oh.
And made him quit that. So the guy that was making this odd Star Citizen connection, the guy that made MechWarrior Living Legends, one of the two,
Yeah.
works for Chris Roberts making Star Citizen. So
Huh.
this tells me that if anybody can take the CryEngine and shove 20 pounds of shit in a 5-pound sack, it's this guy.
Oh, very nice.
Because he's got this game was a first person shooter. I'm stomping around in mechs in like a 10 versus 10 match with artillery and air support and all this crap going on. And it's just like, wow, okay, he made something that was never in the scope to do the apparently impossible. So I don't know. That maybe they can pull off a game. They're not showing it to me that right now though, because they have the free week going right now,
Woo.
and nobody's said anything good. So that's maybe telling.
Oh.
But anyway, so MechWarrior Living Legends, really great, and the people that play it on the league. See, there's different ways that the server can run. You can set a server up and just set it like, okay, everything's open by. There's no, you have like unlimited money. Just grab a mech, go out there and brawl, right? And you pick one team or the other. And then you can also play it a little more like Counter-Strike, where it's capture bases, and there's various bases around the map, and they earn you money when you take them or destroy emplacements there or kill enemy mechs or everything that you do that's for your team earns you money.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you take that money, because you start out, this is the other thing cool, they have power armor suits in here, and you start out in a powered armor suit. Did you play was it Mech Assault on the Xbox?
I did not.
Mech Assault 2. Okay, so it's the powered armor from Mech Assault 2
Okay.
is what you start in. And you've got like a minigun, and you got a pair of SRM missiles, and you can carry, when you get some money, you can actually buy like a man-portable PPC, stuff like that. And you can actually be pretty effective against like light and medium mechs with a powered armor suit. because you can run up and just latch onto them and just beat the shit out of them, and and they're like trying to get rid of you. You can also use that same thing, like you jump up on a friendly mech and ride them into battle. And
Hell yeah, you
they're
can.
they're damn hard to spot, right? So it's like, oh well, here comes some enemy medium mech, and then all of a sudden 3 power armors jump off of it and come fuck you up, and it's like, oh, you know, they have like the concept of ammunition, right?
Right.
And rearming on the battlefield. Somebody can actually drive a supply tank out there. It's an APC, and it can spawn powered armor in the APC, and plus mechs can come up next to it and power down and reload. So it's pretty important to find their APC and kill it. But the matches, the way that they play it in the league is they have a drop calculator. It's a spreadsheet, and they know not just how many tons something is, but what its combat effectiveness points is based on what weapons are on it. And they spend, like, okay, we got this many points to spend. These are the units we're going to buy. And then they assign pilots to it, and there's a referee, right, that comes into both chat rooms and discusses, like, okay, who's going to take what, and then they're spectator in the match to make sure nobody's screwing around. And what was that? That was a 10-on-10 we were in, wasn't it?
Yep.
We were 9-on-9.
Yeah, you're on defenders, and I think we were on attackers for a lot of it.
Yeah, and the thing that was awesome about it was, like, we're roaming around the map and we're looking for where are they, right? And you got your radar shut off, and you're like staying low and behind things to not be line of sight seen, and then the scouts find the enemy, right? And it's like, okay, they're there. Well, we saw one of them, but they might be faking us out and coming from the other way. So like, send a scout the other way, and then you figure out, like, where the main enemy force is, and then the two groups, like, came around the corner and ran into each other, and it was an absolutely brutal 20 seconds where these guys just annihilated each other, and it was like there was like 3 mechs left, and Hunter was one of them. And he was, like, running around, and I think you got the kill shot on the guy, didn't you? Or was that
Are you talking about the lava match? You talking about the lava match?
The lava
no,
match.
I did not get that last shot, but I was able to call him out, though. I was able to call target on that one.
Okay, because they had me and Hunter in the, like, little tiny light mechs, and I got annihilated fast because I put my nose around the corner and got it shot right off. But there's so much firepower that comes out of these mechs in a hell of a hurry. And it's not like MechWarrior Online where they can just, I think in MechWarrior Online they, like, halved the weapon damage and doubled the amount of armor and stuff. Not so here. This is legit tabletop armor values and weapon values. So if you get hit with an AC-20, something just flew off. It doesn't take, like, 3 shots center torso to
True
kill
story,
you.
bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And they've got, dude, the damage model is nuts in this. So the guy had me take a Mad Cat out and then park it and then go grab another mech and come back and just take medium lasers and target one of the missile pods on the shoulder until I blew it off. When I blew the missile pod off, it actually fired the missiles that were in the rack, like half of them, because it's an LRM-15. Like, half the missiles come out like a fireworks factory just blew up. Right? And the missiles are, like, flying around and hitting stuff and doing damage. And I got hit by one of them. And
yeah, so it's like an AOE thing. Like, it's
yeah, they just randomly scatter, and it was just like, damn, that's awesome. And when you blow a leg off of a mech, it actually drags a dead leg behind it.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, just everything about this thing is just magical. It is the mech game that I've always wanted, and it just kills me that these guys got cease and desisted like that, right? So
yeah, and then that's what sucks about it is because they actually did make a better game, and it's pretty great.
Yeah, so what's going down here? Because everybody's at the GDC right now, Game Developer Conference.
Yeah.
So I can't talk to anybody. However, when they come back, I'm going to be on the phone to Mitch Gittleman and Jordan Weissman. Right, and every time I try to say Jordan Weissman, I almost say Julian Gallup, and he's the XCOM guy. So anyway, to Jordan, because Jordan is king, right? He invented this shit. He owns the IP ultimately, and if he can grant them immunity, and they can go back to developing this thing, Oh my God. Because it's a non-profit mod thing, right? I mean, they're not hurting anybody, and they're not going to take customers away from MWO. That's a whole different game. Because in MWO, remember they made that one map? It was like the really big winter map, and people bitched because it's like it takes more than 5 minutes to find the enemy. Screw this, because it's like a grind game, right? So we just want to get the match the hell over with and get our points. Well, here it's a whole different animal. So here you're playing it because you want a mech simulator. There it's, you got the Call of Duty kids in there. So it's a completely different mindset. So it's not gonna snatch their customers away or anything. I'm gonna go to him and just beg, like, dude, and you're doing your BattleTech game right now, and whatever, and PGI got rid of IGP. And Microsoft, I don't think Microsoft actually has the license anymore. I think it reverted back to FASA, maybe.
So
I'm going to find out, and at least I'm going to get a clear picture of what the situation is. Even if it's a no, I want to know who has what, and we'll go from there.
So here's the thing. Speaking of all this, as an effort to increase our community interaction, I've been setting up a bunch of game servers for the community to play on.
Right.
And I think we're going to try and set up one of our own MechWarrior Living Legend servers. So currently, right now, we have a Space Engineers and a Kerbal Space Program multiplayer server.
Very nice.
So you guys can head on over to the Facebook group if you want more information on that, and we'll probably add that information to the website as well. So
yeah, the wiki,
I didn't even know
the forums, all that stuff. Yeah.
I didn't even know Kerbal multiplayer was a thing.
It's a mod.
Mentioned it. Yeah,
it's a
so
mod.
can you interact with each other's stuff? Like, can I build a space station? You come dock at it.
Yep.
Wow.
So here's
Kerbal is not my thing, but I am so glad it exists for people who love that shit.
What about a Kerbal rocket racing league? Like we could just make like freaking stupid rocket cars and race. That would be some death and carnage.
Unfortunately, I think that's like reserved for Space Engineers, but whatever.
Well, they actually do have weapon mods for Kerbal, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They also have like mech mods too.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
All kinds of stuff.
All kinds of things.
All kinds of shit in that shit. So I will have to, because I have the files here, I'll have to install this MechWarrior thing this weekend. And
yeah, it's a super easy install, by the way. So it requires the demo version of Crisis Wars. You don't even have to have it licensed or anything. And so what they did is they streamlined it. They said, okay, we're going to pack the mod and the Crisis Wars demo thing together into a unified installer. It just sets itself up. And then the only other thing that you need, because GameSpy is dead, and it used GameSpy, so they have a launcher, and you run the launcher, and it says, what am I looking at, like 15 servers right now? There's nobody on them because, there's nobody on them. And all the guys we were playing with were European.
yeah.
And, but they play on the weekends. That's league nights. What was it? Saturday, wasn't it? But anyway, so, yeah, it's like every freaking weekend I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So, like, don't even call me because I'm playing MechWarrior.
Wow, that is pretty great.
I cannot sustain interest in MWO. I can play it for like 3-4 drops, whatever. I played this game all day, and like I didn't want to go to bed because
it was like all day
Christmas.
Sunday or something like that.
I played MWO with you once, I think, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm just like, this is okay, sure, this is nice.
Yeah, I mean,
guess
it's MechWarrior-ish.
Yeah, it's mechy, warrior-y. Yeah, sure.
Dude, they could fix that game though. This is the thing. They could totally fix that game, but I don't know if it would please the audience that they've got right now, because it would make the game slow. That's what it needs to be though. Is the thing. So why not have an alternate mode? Okay, so they did their planetary conquest stuff, and did you see I put a video up in the channel where they're actually rolling out like phase 2 of the planetary warfare stuff, right? Community warfare. Oh, wow. So now they're going to have actually faction stuff, and they're going to track units and things, right?
Wow, something
And
Heavy Gear did back in 1997.
yeah, that's true. And that's speaking of heavy gear. We need to like check in with those guys and see what's going on because I have not heard anything from them. Although I looked at some videos and it looks like it's evolving along, but disappointingly, they too are going with the arena style,
Yeah,
MOBA
that's
type
why I'm
game.
really not that interested in it.
Yeah. So the other thing that I think about is okay, if I talk to Jordan
Oh,
and he says, "Nope, we're powerless. We can't do anything because, the license is locked down by those guys and lawyers, right?" All right, fine. So, we have powered armor and we have tanks, and we don't even need mechs for right now, right? Why not make a frickin' Hammers Slammers game, right? Or remember Terra Nova?
oh fuck! Of course I remember
Oh
Terra
my God,
Nova.
dude, this is Terra Nova right now.
Oh,
Because I can jump in a powered armor and
oh,
fly around and do all that Terra Nova shit.
oh,
So it's Terra Nova right now. Like
oh.
we could have a powered armor war in the woods, okay? And then it's got tanks and stuff. Well, tanks,
And
you change
APCs.
how they look a little bit. Yeah, you change how the tanks look a little bit. Whoop-de-doo. If they actually got models for modern tanks and stuck them in here, you could
Yeah.
actually have like a 2000s era tank battle. Just put some Abrams and some T90s and do it. This engine is like ready to do it,
Can
man,
you
and
have
all the maps are there.
can you have bots in this thing?
Unfortunately, there's no AI stuff. That was
Uh,
like that was a coming soon thing, and when they
uh.
got squashed. So,
Well,
but
I have breaking news, because the Paradox folks are doing a presentation right now over in Europe, and apparently the release date for Stellaris is May 9th.
well, there's that.
That's really close, you guys.
That is pretty close.
For
Really
what?
close.
For which one? I couldn't hear.
Stellaris.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Paradox
that's
is
like a month and a half.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hopefully we can get them on at some point. I've been trying, but we're small fish, so who knows? But
Have you been trying the No Man's Sky folks as well?
I emailed them once or twice, and I've never heard back. Not even, oh, we'll get back to you once we have something playable, or I've never heard anything back. I will try one more time, at least. What I've been trying to do is get a Starflight podcast going with the original folks who did that one, because that turns 30 this year. And
Oh right, yeah, you talked about that. I remember now.
and I got the lead guy, but that's all so far. So that's the one I've really been working on, because shit, Starflight, god damn it.
So yeah. So Stellar Tactics, huh?
Yeah, this game, from what I've seen, apparently this company, according to their website, Maverick Games, which is the company who's making Stellar Tactics here, was founded in 2016, which is, now, like 3 months ago. So maybe that's
So
why.
they've gotten a lot done in a couple months.
Because guys, we don't have folks on the stream or on the YouTube or whatever. We don't have an actual game to play, so they sent us some video, and it looks like the love child of Starflight and Sentinel Worlds Future Magic that I've wanted since 1998. Because not only do you have space stuff, you land on the planets and you run around in turn-based combat shooting folks, which is exactly what you did in Sentinel Worlds. So
It would make a damn fine Traveler game. That's what I'm saying.
where you die before you even finish making your character.
No, not necessarily that. But you know what I mean. The whole Traveler deal, though. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I got a spaceship, and then we have an outside the ship RPG. Did you play Traveler Zodani Conspiracy back in the day?
No, I mean to. I know I need to.
That was a thing that was kind of if you want something to scratch your Sentinel Worlds itch, it was kind of like that.
Oh really?
So yeah.
I keep an eye out for boxed copies on eBay, because apparently the manuals for those things were fantastic. So
I bet you could find that on the internets.
well, yeah, but I want the manuals, is what I'm saying. So I'm keeping an eye out, like the physical.
Right, but don't deprive yourself of playing the game just because you're waiting on the physical thing.
Hey,
if it was there.
I just had a thought. Sorry, random thought. I got really excited.
No, go for it. We got nothing. We got nothing but time, Hunter.
You guys in the chat. I want to see a show of hands. I know there's not many of you at the current moment, but I want to see a show of hands. If you want to like play a game with us that you guys have like been dying to play, what would that game be? Like if there's a game that you guys want to play with us, let us know, because we are really wanting to engage more with our community and play with you guys.
I mean, we're trying to bring more people from the community into the Thursday night thing.
We have a chat right here, and we're talking to you guys. So tell us.
Right, and we also have the IRC chat. We have the forums. We have the Facebook group. We have Twitter. We have all these ways you can get in touch with us to tell us what you want.
Come on, Merrick. I know you're like wanting to tell us. You want to play My Little Pony Island Adventure. I know you do.
I did ask. Sorry.
And we will play it with you if you want.
What is that horse game on Steam? The Magic Crystals or whatever that one is. You know what I'm talking about, where you raise a...
Yeah, the quest for the Magic Crystals.
Secret of the Magic Crystals.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it as
It shall remain a secret.
I got it as a joke gift.
Yeah, from who?
I don't remember. This is like...
From me.
Was it from you 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Did I know you 4 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, you're a closeted brony. I'll send you this.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was July 19th. I love how Enhanced Steam tells you this. It was July 19th, 2012. That was pretty much when we started like shortly after we started the podcast, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I think. Anyway, yeah. So. Oh, wow, wait, there's DLC for this game? Dude, there's a coloring book. There's a coloring book DLC for this game.
That's hilarious and awesome.
I know. Oh my god, you can upgrade. Oh, wow. I should play this. No, I shouldn't. Okay.
Nobody should play that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
on. It's like Shower with My Pony Simulator.
Man.
Wow.
Speaking of Starflight, I don't know if you all saw, folks, but someone from the forum Gamers with Jobs, which if you haven't gone to is probably one of the finest forums on the web, sent me for free a Sega Genesis, a working Sega Genesis. And so I've been playing the Genesis version of Starflight on that thing.
I have heard those people are very nice.
They're very nice over there. It's the best. It's really probably the best community I hang out on, besides ours, of course. And they're really great.
Second to none.
I mean, the guy sent it to me for free. I didn't even pay for shipping. I'm like, I'll pay for shipping. He's like, don't worry about it. Okay. So I got this big box with a fucking Genesis in it that costs like $20 to ship.
So it'd be like nice if you bought one at a game store.
Yeah, I could have walked across the street and got one for probably a little more than that. But because there's a game shop over there. But yeah, so I've been playing that, and it's really the best version of the game, I think, because it like makes things so much more hands-on.
Have you ever played like the console versions of like Star Trek: The Next Generation or Deep Space Nine?
You know what? No, I have not. It's funny. I've heard mixed things about them. Like when I went to that retro gaming expo, and that's where I bought Starflight. I also saw a Star Trek Next Generation Genesis game there. And so I'm like, for like $8. I was like, oh, really? So I looked it up, and the reviews were terrible.
Yeah. So they're either like, they're just so bad that you just don't even want to deal with it, or they're so bad that you're like, this is hilarious. I'm going to keep playing it because it's so stupid.
Oh, really?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of...
I've got a DS9 game here for the PS3, but for the PC that I need to play. I think it's called Fallen.
You know,
The Fallen.
If we could somehow figure out how to get multiplayer of Dominion Wars working, I would be the happiest person ever.
Yeah, no, apparently that was You know what? I somehow missed that one because I wasn't into Deep Space Nine when it came out.
And so my recollection is it was a hard game.
Hard like challenging or hard like
Yes.
wall of difficulty? Fuck you, player hard. Like it was a good challenge type thing.
I think a mix of that.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
Although they were supposed to have this like create your own ship builder thing that would like work with it, like where you could build your own starship out of like different spaceship parts from Star Trek.
Well,
And I could never get that to work.
well, apparently they also. Someone was telling us this the other day, but I believe it because it was Simon and Schuster. There were two Star Trek creator programs, like Starship creator programs. There was the original one, and then there was Warp 2, and they were both terrible. They were both absolutely terrible.
Warp 2 was the one that I had that I couldn't get to work with Dominion Wars.
Yeah, but apparently
it was supposed to.
Yeah, apparently that's what I heard. I heard you could get it to work. Now let's see how much I've got. Hang on, because I've got it as I've been keeping an eye out for it on eBay. There it is.
Which one specifically was that, Mark? The Genesis Star Trek game? Because I thought there was a couple.
Yeah, I think there was more than one. Well, let's look it up. Star Trek video. I'm sure there's a list. History of Star Trek video games on Wikipedia. So let's see. Yeah, here we go. Here's a list. Commercial games. Oh, computer. Console. Here we go. Well, there was Star Trek The Next Generation Futures Past for the Super Nintendo. There was Star Trek 5.
Oh, yeah.
There was Star Trek V The Final Frontier, which was probably as bad as the PC one. There was Star Trek Generations Beyond the Nexus. There was Star Trek Next Generation Echoes of the Past. There's Deep Space Nine, Crossroads of Time. There was Star Trek Generations. There was Star Trek Invasion for the PlayStation. But yeah, there were nowhere near as many Star Trek games for consoles as there were for the PC, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Speaking of Star Trek games
Yeah.
and such, and then Battlefleet Gothic has come out, in early access. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I
and
toyed
stuff.
with the tutorial. I died very quickly.
Did you like whenever you're looking at the depth of like controlling all the ship functions and crap, did it occur to you that this is like Starfleet Command?
A little bit, not as detailed as that, but a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of getting the Starfleet Command vibe. Although I was hoping that game would be turn-based, and it is of course not.
Of course it isn't. No one wants
yeah.
turn-based except for the Grognards, which is
Right,
stupid.
but see, as somebody that likes to think about what the hell I'm doing,
Oh yeah,
like
no, I agree.
put a tight turn limit on me, right? Like give me 30 seconds or whatever. But it's kind of like I was expecting like a WeGo kind of turn-based deal. Because it would be like I plot my movement, you plot your movement, we hit go, ships move, all right, we do it again. And that would have been cool, right? Because it could have been a little bit tactical or whatever. But here at least you have the option that you can whack the space bar and go bullet time for a while. So that's not as bad as it could be.
Right.
But still, there are so many freaking things those ships can do and so much stuff to think about. And then you got like 5 ships. And it's just kind of like, wow, this is a little bit overload. I don't know if I can quite control this. And when the game is not in bullet time, it is freaking fast.
It occurred to me that we need to try and see if we can't get Elite Force to work and play a good Star Trek FPS.
Oh, you
And-
like which one?
The first one.
Oh, doesn't the second one have even better multiplayer than the first one? I thought.
I don't remember, to be
I
honest
know
with you.
that the second one's the one that they made the mods and stuff for, though, right? Like the walk around the Voyager mod and stuff.
There was a lot of mods for the first one. Yeah, like someone built like a whole like Voyager like ship mod that you could just like walk around the whole ship and like tour the ship virtually inside the game. Same thing with like the Enterprise E. It was a really great game. I was just thinking, like, we don't do a lot of first-person shooters because there's not too many sci-fi ones that we do. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully next week we're doing Unreal Tournament. That's what I think. That's what I'm suggesting we do for the multiplayer night.
yeah,
Because
I got 2K4 installed, I think,
Oh,
already.
yeah. So apparently,
what is multiplayer this week? I forget.
X-Men versus TIE Fighter.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll probably start the campaign from the beginning because fuck that one mission. So apparently with Dominion Wars, according to Wikipedia, some of the game modes include Domination, Free for All, and Find the Founder, which is hilarious. That sounds funny. Apparently you can handle up to 48 ships, 48 people, maybe. I don't know. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I think it suffers from the fact that it's hard to get working on modern computers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to snag a copy of this and see if I can get it running.
I have one. I can probably try it too.
Okay. I mean, it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of Starfleet Commandy, actually.
Yeah, I was just really disappointed though. Like, Star Trek games just don't get enough love, right? Like,
Sorry. Go.
Yeah, they haven't been that great either. But
Well, they vary so much. That's the thing. They vary so much in quality. That's the thing. They're all over the map.
Well,
yeah, well, like you had the few during the '90s, like for PC specifically. Like you had the Elite Force games, which were actually decent.
Yeah,
And then you also had the Armada games, which were decent.
Right. Yeah, Starfleet Command. But then for all of them, you have the game show. You have Borg. You have Klingon. You have Final Frontier. You have Rebel Universe. There's so many bad Star Trek games.
Can we just take a moment and remember Star Trek the game show? Okay. That's all I needed.
It's funny. Nicole wanted to start Deep Space Nine from the beginning. I don't know why, but we got to the Q episode last night, and she didn't remember it at all. And I'm like, no, we could skip this one. It's terrible. It's horrible. And she's like, no, I'll watch it. Okay.
Actually, the deleted scenes for the Q episode are quite hysterical.
Seriously.
Yeah, there's like a bit where they're in Quarks, and John DeLacy or whatever forgot his line, and Cisco's holding him by the collar, and he's like, "Bring them back, Q," and Q's like, "Or what? You'll ravish me?" It's like he didn't know what to say. It's pretty funny.
I know. Oh wow, is that on the DVD?
I think so. Yeah.
See, I want to buy those DVDs, but they're so expensive. But I figure
you can also get YouTube. Can show you.
Right, but I want all the special features. So what I'm gonna probably do is once they disappear from from Netflix, because that's gonna happen. CBS is gonna be like, we want all of this only on our service, and fuck you, YouTube, fuck you, Netflix. So I'll probably buy all the DVDs that day, which will be an expensive day. That'll be an expensive day.
Merrick says, need more Gorn.
There weren't any Gorn on Deep Space Nine. Were there? I don't think so. They were mentioned once or twice.
I kind of like the new Gorn, the ones that were in the Star Trek motion picture game.
Oh yeah,
wait,
which one? With the arcade one or the Vectrex one, or which game?
No, I don't mean the motion picture like in the 80s. I mean the 2009. They made the Spock and Kirk together again.
Oh, that. No, I never played that one. That looked really bad, actually.
Oh, but the Gorn in it were pretty awesome. They were lizard men, kind of like
what?
more like if raptors had evolved into humanoids. That's kind of what they were. So they weren't like that big plotting Frankenstein lizard that was all. Like,
well, Star Trek Online, I think had that.
Really?
Really, I haven't seen the Gorn in it.
Really, because they're like some of the things that you run into the most with the Klingons.
Yeah, you're talking about DAC, right? That Star Trek DAC game.
No,
I'm talking about Star Trek Online, but he's talking about something else.
I'm talking about Star Trek, the third person
Star
walk
Trek
around
2009 video game.
Oh, you're thinking the one from 2013. That's why I was confused. The one from 2009 is called DAC, and that's only like Deathmatch, Assault, and Conquer. Now the Star Trek, it's just called Star Trek. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I didn't play that at all. It looked awful. It looked really awful.
Yeah, the Gorn are they're kind of Dungeons and Dragons lizard men looking.
What?
Kind of, and they're not slow, right? They're pretty speedy. They're more modeled on like raptors or something.
Wait a minute.
But yeah, the Gorn in Star Trek Online are more like Bosk the bounty hunter from Star Wars.
I see them. They do look kind of raptory, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. That's
Somebody did like a statue of it.
Yeah. I
Gorn
see it right here. That's actually a really cool statue. Actually, I'll. That's a pretty awesome statue, actually.
Yeah, and it's like the Gorn didn't have to be like a big slow thing. I mean, it's just how it was played in the TV show, right? But I'm surprised that there's not more done with them in Star Trek, because they would be very interesting. And it's not like they're just like some trailer park end of the galaxy. No, these guys, they got into space, right? They got warp technology and stuff. They're not idiots.
Yeah,
So-
well, I mean, that's the thing about Star Trek. They're so
Unless they're the guys who are like, you're smart, we're not.
Oh
It
God,
makes me wonder how those guys got into space. How the fuck did those guys get into space?
Idiocracy.
God, yeah. God, that was the episode where Picard also got his heart replaced, his mechanical heart replaced, right? That was the whole deal with that one, right? That was the A plot or the B plot or whatever plot. Oh,
Right.
God.
It was like Picard got a heart, and the
I thought that was a
Mayan
Q
got his
episode,
courage.
No, that was a
and-
different episode. That was a different episode entirely. That was when Picard got shot with something and it made his mechanical heart kind of explode. And so while they were saving it, Q's like, "You're dead. We're gonna go back in time." Oh, okay.
Why
So,
Star
yeah.
Trek? Why is it always the time?
So that's the thing about Star Trek. It's like, oh, we're gonna use this race in one episode, and you're never gonna see them again because there's really no continuity except for Deep Space Nine. Like when I watch like Next Gen and they reference anything that happened previously, I get a little excited. I'm like, oh my God, continuity! Yeah.
So was Deep Space Nine an answer to Babylon 5 or something?
They came out around the same time.
They were roughly the same time.
So no, they were, from what I understand, they were developed pretty much independently of each other. But you know how it is, asteroid disaster movies come out at the same time. Volcano movies come out at the same time. Shows about a space
You had
station.
two like Wyatt Earp movies that came out at the same time.
Shows about a space station come out at the same time.
3 volcano movies.
Well, okay, there was Dante's Peak. There
Volcano.
was Volcano.
Volcano.
and there was, what was the other one?
Ring of Fire. I don't know. No, that was a Johnny Cash song.
Actually, did you know they're making a sequel to San Andreas? And it's going to be about the Ring of Fire. I
Haven't even seen the first one.
I haven't either. I love Dwayne Johnson, but I can't make myself. And I love disaster movies, and I still can't make myself.
I can't stand disaster movies.
Have you ever
Unless
seen
they're done like
the,
extremely well, but no.
Have you ever seen the original Earthquake?
No.
Oh, it's a 70s movie. In fact,
Oh, that was
It
the
is the
decade of
last-
disasters.
oh yeah, that
I mean,
that is the only movie that I remember actually going to the theater with my grandparents,
really?
and they went to see that. Yeah, I never went to a movie with them again because they were just like not go out people,
Oh,
and that for some reason we all went to the movies and saw
Earthquake.
Earthquake.
I just remember watching when I was a kid, like they on TV, like all those airport movies. You know, there were like 8 of them. Remember those? Airport
Oh yeah, like
71,
Airport 79. Yep.
Airport 81 with the Concorde or whatever. You know, like oh my god. And Towering Inferno, Poseidon Adventure, the original, of course, is my all-time favorite.
An Airplane.
Well,
That was a different genre entirely.
oh, Airplane. But yeah, there were so many disaster movies in the 70s. Ridiculous. It's great. But yeah, I remember like, and then there was Deep Impact, and there was also Armageddon around the same time. So,
Deep Impact. That was the porno one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
What?
Get
it? Deep Impact? Never mind. Sorry.
Wow. So no, Deep
I'd
Space.
watch porn with Tia Leone in it.
So yeah, Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5 didn't really have anything to do with each other, but I've tried getting into Babylon 5 like 4 or 5 times.
Did you know that
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, Babylon 5 is really hard. Like you got to get past season 1, and that's
I've tried. I've tried. I've had friends who have brought me over to their house. I'm like, okay, we're gonna sit down. I have specifically chosen 6 of the best episodes for you that don't involve an arc so much, so you can just jump in and enjoy them. And I'm like, okay, that's nice.
What about just the movies?
The movies?
Yeah, they made movies too.
They did?
So, yeah, totes. That's what I've actually seen. I watched season 1, and I was just like, oh god, never again.
It was so terrible.
And I was away from it. And then some friends of mine that were like super fans were like, no, you have to watch the later stuff. And I was like, what? So there was a movie. It was like Aftermath or something.
What?
And yeah.
Oh wait, I think was it about the guy with the big hair? Did it focus on him?
Yeah, it was.
I saw that.
What's
The
one.
guy with the big
Londo.
hair.
I don't know what his name
Londo
is.
Calrissian.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what
his name's
is.
Londo. Yeah.
And you know what's weird? I love cheesy sci-fi shows. Like in the 90s, there were so many of them on TV. Remember this? They were like Mutant X and Time Tracks and Andromeda and Xena and Hercules and all these cheesy ass sci-fi.
And Devil's Alley.
I love that shit. And yet I couldn't get into Babylon 5, which is what you'd think would be right up my alley. But I don't know.
I don't know. It's it had some interesting stuff. It did some things that nobody else had done. But you know, the true tragedy is the thing that they made after that, which was Babylon Crusade.
Was that about the ship?
Yeah,
the
they
cool
had a
looking ship.
Yeah, they had a ship, and they were traveling, and it was like the Templars, and they're on a crusade, and they had a wizard with them,
Huh.
and you know, it was King Arthur in a spaceship, dude.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And I was just like, what the hell? So they had a like technomancer guy with them, right? And his magic spells was actually like nanites that would swarm around him, but they would look like magic, you know.
Right.
And you know, so he could throw fireballs, but it was nanites, we swear. Yeah, it was weird. And the ship if the show wasn't called Excalibur, the ship was named the Excalibur or something. I don't know. I've blocked it out of my memory, but Excalibur was something in there.
Huh.
It might have been Babylon Excalibur. Could have been the show. I don't even know. Hurtful. But it was totally like Merlin and the boy captain
that didn't even last a season, if I recall.
If it lasted, I didn't last to the end of the episode.
Oh
so
man! Oh man!
I was just like, oh god, and I was.
Yeah, I think I watched it because you know me and ships. I gotta watch something with a ship in it, so I watched it, and I was like, "What is going on?" Because I obviously wasn't familiar with the universe, and it was like, okay, I'll just try and jump into this. And that was a bad idea.
Oh, that's a poor starting point.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It was a very poor starting point. So let's see what's coming up on the podcast. Let's talk about that for a few minutes because we've been going for almost an hour, and I don't know
what's coming up on the podcast is we're going to be talking about what's coming up on the podcast.
I don't know how much bullshit
after this message.
I don't know how much bullshit we can throw at people.
We should do a sponsor message. Do we have a sponsor yet? Should I make something up?
We do not have sponsors. Go ahead. We do not have sponsors.
Wash your butt with soap.
Ooh, soap.
Now back to our show.
Tell me more. No, It's soap. Ding. So, folks, next week we're going to be talking to the developers of Star Command Galaxies, which has been in development for quite a long time, had a Kickstarter and everything, and they're on Beta 8, Alpha 8, Beta 8, something like that. Then on March 29th, we're going to talk to the folks behind Descendants Voidborn, which is a neat-looking kind of 4X-y, adventure-y looking thing. Then we're having our buddy Chris back for our 150th show, Chris Stockman. Not only that week are we going to introduce a new format to the show, but we're going to talk about Fleets of Soul, which we talked about briefly the last time he was here, but it was barely a game at that point. And then we might have something on the 12th. I don't think I put it on, but we might have something on the 12th of April. And then we're going to be talking to the developers of Vendetta Online. So yeah, we have quite a bit of awesome for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows. Woo! Yeah, we work hard here to bring you lots of awesome stuff. Hi, Alex. Now, folks, I just want to throw out something. I try not to advertise or pimp too much. You know, I try and keep it very minimal.
But we would like you to try soap.
Yeah, it washes. It washes your butt. Ding. No.
Do you get that not so fresh butt feeling? Try soap.
Every morning. No.
Try it.
Yeah.
Just try it.
So that's a thing though, right? Like this is happening right now. The soap. So the model with ad block, right? So all the YouTubers and stuff, they're starting to feel the pain because everybody's ad blocking, right? And the websites and the podcasts and everything. So I look for things to go back to the like mid-show endorsement, like try soap, you know, like this show brought to you by the letter N and the letter capital 3.
Well, I don't know. There's a podcast called Sawbones. I don't know if you guys listen to it. It's on the Maximum Fun Network. It's basically a husband and wife team. The wife is a doctor, and the husband is a comedian. And they talk about all these fascinating ailments through history and how they were discovered and how people tried to cure them throughout the centuries. It's pretty.
That actually sounds damn interesting.
It is interesting. I can't listen to it after a while because it really gets skeevy, so I have to take a break every now and again. But it's actually really good. But what they do is, like, in the middle of every episode, because it's always just the two of them, they're like, well, the wife's like, well, I could tell you more, but you have to go to our billing department because she's a doctor. And so that's when they slip in the mid-episode sponsor commercial thing. It's actually kind of usually pretty funny. I don't know if we're that adept to doing that, especially when we have guests. But it's not something I'm adverse to. But no, folks.
No, because you could just turn to Chris Roberts and be like, Chris, do you ever use soap?
Ding.
And there it is, right?
Actually, no. There's a set of commercials out here for a plumber, and they talk about how their plumbers smell good, right? And every time they say, our plumbers smell good, they play a harp. I'm not even kidding. Like, bring, every time. So that's try soap. Bring. You know, fucking harp.
Awesome.
No, folks, we have a Patreon, and it's doing, it's kind of stagnated. We haven't gotten a new person in about a month. And I'm incredibly grateful for all the patrons we have. They pay for the hosting, which actually just went up in price. They pay for the Mumble server. They pay for the Evolve room. They pay for all kinds of stuff that we use to help with the community, to help play games together, to help have an awesome community. So I am going to be reworking the Patreon a bit I don't know about tiers yet, but I want maybe more interesting goals. Like if we get to this goal, we'll have 2 podcasts a week or something. Not like that, but like maybe I'll cover 2 games a week instead of 1, something like that. So,
that sounds like slavery to me, actually.
Well, I mean, if people are willing to pay for my time, I'm willing to give them my time.
That's prostitution.
Well, it's time. It's
Okay.
not my anyway. So folks, it's
Touch my body. I'm sorry.
so you
Do you
can
pole dance?
you can find a coworker of mine does as exercise.
Really?
And
What's his name?
She actually she's actually like competes at it professionally. I'm not even making this up.
I honestly think, like, joking aside, that should be an Olympic sport.
It takes a
because...
lot of strength and focus. I was talking to her about it. It takes a lot of upper body and lower body strength. It takes a lot of focus and concentration. It's serious shit.
I know it demands a lot of concentration and focus. And
yeah, it's not just it's a stripper thing. No, it's serious stuff.
Shut up, Jim.
But anyway, so folks, we have
a lot of focus.
Anyway, what I was saying is we have a Patreon, and you can find links to it here on YouTube or on the website or on the Facebook group, or just go to patreon.com. I think it's /Space Game Junkie. And every dollar you pledge really helps us make this, not just the blog, but the community better. I mean, again, it's paying for the Mumble server. It's paying for the monthly fees for Evolve, so we can have static IPs for our game party room. It pays for all kinds of stuff, and the more we get, the better we can make this. Like, I can probably get video editing tools that aren't just free from Microsoft, shit like that. So I would encourage everyone to at least check out the Patreon page. And if you do feel like throwing me a buck, great. If not, that's cool too. I appreciate you visiting and listening and watching regardless.
Here's a great way to look at it.
I'll give you $1 if you quit talking about Patreon.
If you really like what Brian's doing, how about once a month you buy him a cup of coffee? And the best way to do that is to contribute to Patreon.
Thank you.
Or buy him a lap dance with $50.
There you go. You can buy him a once a month lap dance. Or a cup of coffee. What is it, like $5 at Starbucks or something like that?
I could definitely use the coffee. Use the coffee. But yeah, just check out the Patreon. Also, folks, we are trying to revamp the forum and make it more active, make it more integral. We want to kind of make it a centerpiece of the community. Like, we want to make it so we can post stuff there and then share it everywhere. Like, if an event's coming up, we'll post it in the forum, then share it on the Facebook group and the Twitter and everything. Stuff like that. So you can find the forum at the Space Game Junkie site. I just switched to a much better piece of software. I was running MyBB, but now I'm running Simple Machines, which is 1,000,000 times better. It's fast, it's mobile friendly, and of course it's free. So check out the Patreon, check out the forum. The Space Game Junkie is almost 5 years old, and I don't think it has the eyes on it that it deserves. So I'm going to be working hard this year. We're all going to be working hard this year to make this site not just better in terms of content, but better as a community. But we can't do that without your help. That's all I'm asking. So check out the forum, check out the Patreon, check out the Facebook group. There are links to all of these things below this video. Or if you're listening to the podcast, go to spacegamejunkie.com. There's links to everything there as well. The Facebook group, the Patreon, the YouTube, everything. So the final thing is just tell your friends about us. Like, I try not to ask this too much because I don't want to sound like I'm begging. But every pair of eyes helps. We love engaging with people. We love talking to people. We love seeing people in our chat room, in our YouTube chat. We love having people join us for Thursday multiplayer matches.
Yeah, we would like to remind the audience that the NDA is lifted and you may speak about us openly now, everywhere. You're no longer prohibited. I mean, they're good at keeping secrets. We're the best kept secret on the internet, but those days are over, and now go forth.
The NDA is up.
We should start a religion, actually, and then part of that is actually that
like
they have to ride bicycles and go door to door and tell people about Space Game Junkie.
Like they did on John Oliver. Praise be, praise be. Send us your seed. No, don't send us your seed, because they actually got semen when they did that. Did you guys watch that? Do you guys watch John Oliver at all?
No.
Not anymore.
I saw the Trump thing. and that was enough.
Oh, it's a great show, but they did this bit about all these weird churches, for-profit churches. So they started one to see how much money they could make as a for-profit church, and they made like about $20,000, which they gave all to Doctors Without Borders. But people actually sent them.
But they made it from who? Their audience?
Yeah, their audience.
Joke?
People sent them actual money that they used as a donation, but people also sent them semen and seeds, because that was the thing. Send us your seed.
Because every sperm is sacred. Every
Yes,
sperm is great.
This is true.
And if ever sperm gets wasted,
So,
it's quite irate.
Folks, I don't know what happened to our guest tonight. He never replied to my email. He confirmed yesterday it was coming and got the right time in the email, but I don't know what happened. I apologize for that. So hopefully this has been entertaining. I don't know if we're going to have this gentleman back or when.
He's probably locked up in a woodshed somewhere. Somebody telling him to rub the lotion on his skin.
I don't know. Maybe.
But it'll be okay.
I mean, I don't think he's in a state where they voted today, so I don't know if that's an excuse.
Well, it depends on who you voted for, really.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Wah.
Wah, wah. But anyway.
They said that the mental health places are starting to fill up. It's not, it used to be like fashionable to be like Napoleon or whatever, right? Crazy people. Now they said a lot of people are coming back, and they all say, that they're admitted, right? And they're like, I'm not crazy. I actually came back in time to knock off Trump before he could get elected. And it's just, I don't know, man. Maybe they're sending a lot of people back. They're from the dark dystopian future.
Yeah, they're from it's all Mad Max over there now. And
yeah, it's 12 Monkeys all the way.
Well, you guys saw the meme, right? Where it's just like Trump's not going to win the president. 2017, President Trump can't do that. 2018, hey, I'm watching Hunger Games tonight. Hope my district wins.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty great.
President Camacho will be next.
Oh, God.
I care not who wins this election, but it will be Camacho in 2020.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Guy I used to work with used to answer the phone that way.
Nice.
It's funny.
All right, my friends, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you for listening and watching again. We had to do something because our guest, I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out. I hope he's okay. I'd feel terrible if he was like in a car accident or something, but I don't know what happened. Maybe
if he fell into a wood chipper.
Or maybe he had an internet outage. We don't know. I mean...
Oh, that's the worst.
It's been happening a lot lately, too.
I'd rather have the wood chipper, really.
No, yeah,
you take my internet away, I'm through.
It's like being dead anyway.
What was it? The Maslow's pyramid of needs, and someone sketched in the
Wi-Fi.
A new lowest level of the pyramid is Wi-Fi. Yeah, exactly. Which is so true. So, folks, this week for Multiplayer Madness, we're going to be returning to X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. So that should be fun.
So
and you guys can join us.
And show up.
Yeah,
that's right. You totally join us if you want. I don't think it's on Humble Bundle anymore. But if you didn't get that Humble Bundle with all those Star Wars games and you didn't know them already, you're an idiot.
Oh, you're too
slow. No, not necessarily, because the GOG versions are actually much better anyway.
Oh, I agree.
This is true.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I mean, if you had to get them some way, that's the cheap. I mean, they're never going to be that cheap on GOG. That's the thing. So hopefully the two versions can work together, because I have a feeling that's what we're going to find out. But we'll see.
So let's do a bonus thing for the people who hung out in YouTube.
Okay.
The people that listen to the podcast don't get to hear. Let's talk about roguelike games for a little bit.
Okay, folks. For the podcast, that's a good idea. Thank you for listening. We're going to cut the recording here, so we will see you next week with Star Command Galaxies. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.
And if you give me $5 on Patreon, I'll slip you a copy of what we're going to say next.
Right.
Maybe, if you're nice.
Okay, sure.
Jim stopped recording.
All right. So we're still streaming.
Internets.
So roguelikes. I've been playing. What have I been playing lately? I've been playing one of them. What have I been playing lately?
My wife continues to plug away at No Moria.
What's No Moria?
It's like Dwarf Fortress, but with gnomes and graphics instead of.
Oh,
ASCII.
right. I actually own that, and yet I have never played it.
Really, it's finally out. Like they're unbaited now.
Yeah. I have it, like, right freaking here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. I
Yeah,
have
you
it.
should fire that up. It's like a human accessible Dwarf Fortress
What?
of sorts. Yeah. Now myself, I'm kind of addicted to Keeper RL.
I have played that
Roguelike
one.
Dungeon Keeper.
I have played that one. I really enjoy it. Unreal World came out a little while back. That's
Yeah, I saw that.
That's difficult. That one is hard.
Unreal World has been around.
It's been
for
around since
like
the
10,000
'90s.
years.
It's been around
Yeah.
since the '90s, and
So is this a pay version that just supports? I think
yeah,
that's what
I believe it
right?
is.
So you
I
can go
believe
get
it
it
is.
for free.
You can get it for free, but I got it on Steam because I want to support this kind of development, and it's good, but it's difficult. It's not Caves of Cud impenetrable, but it needs work to really, I think, dig into it. And I'm digging it, but wow, that one's kind of nuts. A couple just came out. Well, at least one came out recently. Was it Beyond Dimensions? Just came out. So
Don't know that one.
it just came out like earlier this week or maybe late last week. That one randomizes everything. Like you're a random character plus you start with random spells, and it's kind of 2.5D, and it's actually quite fun. No gamepad support, which is weird, but it's kind of fun. The couple I've been playing a lot lately when I have time are Tower Climb and Path to the Sky, which are both kind of pixely, platformery, difficulty roguelikes, which I'm just loving to death. Those things are great.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, those things are
So
great.
you like the kind of Spelunky-ish platforming roguelike, huh?
I do. I mean, I love all kinds of roguelikes, but those are the ones that I'm really into right now, or the platformy, like Spelunky, yes, Pat ones. So there are quite a few good ones out there. You know, I've also played
Yeah,
a little Starward Rogue. Have you played that one?
I have not. Is that the Chris Park joint?
Yeah, that's the Arkan one. It's kind of a twin stick shootery thing, which is pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
digging that one.
So there's I need to get into Darkest Dungeon. Like I was listening to an old Gamers with Jobs podcast today.
Yeah.
It was from like early January where they were talking about Dungeon, and it was specifically the episode where they talked about Tharsis, right? And those guys didn't dig it, right? It's
Fair
we're,
enough.
we're gonna have to send our boy over there to talk to him about why the game's good.
We'll send them both over there. That'll be funny.
Yeah.
Send them both
yeah.
over.
So anyway, they were talking about Tharsis and fairness in games, right?
Right.
And then that got them talking about Darkest Dungeon, and they said, okay, Darkest Dungeon started out great, and then the community, right? Because you get the people, and I saw a parallel in their conversation to flight sims, because it used to be flight sims were accessible and fun and not necessarily totally realistic, right? But then the vocal community was the rivet counters, and they were like, we need more knobs, we need more realism, more workload. And soon, like, people that were normal folks were like a combat flight sim, like Flight Simulator 10, which would be like a hardcore flight sim, was like a toddler game compared to some of the other stuff that came out, and it's like I look at like DCS now, which DCS the new 2.0 is finally out there. I think you have to buy the Vegas map to get the beta engine, but you can get it now. So I was looking at some video of that, and it looks pretty extreme. But the DCS shit. Like I was talking to, the guy that made the Hind game. Did you play that yet?
I have not played that yet.
Okay. So the Hind game, he's really familiar with Fair Strike and Comanche 4 and those kind of games. He's one of the guys that made the Flying Tigers over China.
Yeah, that game is great.
Yeah, he made that. He was involved in some of the air conflict stuff, although
Oh.
he's very careful to say he was not involved in the Vietnam one because
Huh.
that's the one that got beat up on Steam. Um, but their company, they make casual flight sim stuff. They're trying to be accessible again. And
Yay.
but he was not familiar with Desert Strike and
Huh.
Jungle Strike
Huh,
and the
really?
strike games.
How could you
Yeah,
not be
so
from? Really?
well, Russia, right? So I sent him some videos, right? And I was like, okay, you have this helicopter game, and the helicopter just flies like butter. It's beautiful. Like if in Arma and God, every other game except for Operation Typhoon, Joint Ops Typhoon from Novalogic,
Yeah.
the helicopters in that flew nicely, and I'm sad that nobody plays that game anymore because the helicopters were awesome in that.
Hmm.
Because the thing is they try to stick some sim crap in there when it should just be like, hey, look, I'm playing a first person shooter. This is not a game for pilots, so I should just be able. The helicopter should like hover unless I'm hitting the controls and then it goes forward or whatever, but don't make me actually have to fly the thing like I'm playing a hardcore flight sim, right?
Unless that's
And
what you want. Yeah, of course.
well, but the thing is, they only half-ass model the helicopter, so it does weird shit that it wouldn't really do in a flight sim. So even if you're good with flight sims, you're kind of screwed in that. So it's like I have to put my brain in a different mode to fly the choppers in like Battlefield 4. And Hunter's been up in the air with me. He knows.
Right.
Oh,
It
yeah.
goes on whenever
Yep,
I
yep,
get
yep,
behind
yep,
the
yep.
stick. But it's God, I love that too. I suck at the jets. I am horrific. I cannot fly those frickin' jets for nothing. But it's like you're trying to fly a jet inside of a phone booth because the map is so small, and I can't do it.
That's a great
right?
way of describing that.
Yeah, but the helicopters are badass, right? Because I got enough room. I can do my thing, and but the jets are the plague because you get the players that are really good in the jets, and then they just waste your ass. So it makes helicopters unflyable if there's nobody on our team in a jet that can keep that jet off of me. So that's kind of a game ender. But this guy with the Hind game, that Hind flies so nicely, keyboard and mouse, right?
Really?
And it goes where you want it to go. And the thing, it's like there's 3 difficulty levels, right? So there's like super easy, and then like a novice, and then there's pilot mode. Pilot mode, it flies like a flight sim, and the helicopter has momentum and mass, and it's a Hind. It's a big fat bird, right? It takes time to turn that thing around, and if you dive too fast and you try to pull up, you're gonna splat into the ground, and it treats it like a real helicopter. It's not like super hardcore or anything, but he was thinking like his competition is that Heliborn that's out on Steam now, which is sort of a MOBA of helicopter game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the problem that I have with that game is that you're flying in a maze, right? It's like cliffs and mountains and stuff. So there's no like open battlefield or anything, and it's air-to-air combat between helicopters, and that crap doesn't happen. So it's an interesting adventure into that, but I would want something where, it's like the helicopter's job, right? I'm a transport helicopter, so I fly troops in, and then you have another helicopter that can shoot the ground defenses up that will allow me to drop my troops and capture the base. And then we have a base that's closer to the enemy, right? So you make your way across the map. And if they wanted to play MOBA with it, the thing to do is have the bases crap out tanks, right? Like an RTS. The base just builds 10 tanks, and then it sends them down to the road, to the enemy base. And the enemy base sends 10 tanks toward it, and they're timed so they reach each other and annihilate each other, unless a player's there to help, spin the odds. And then, if you help your tanks get past the enemy tanks, then they'll get to the base, and the enemy base defenses will. So, but it buys you some to actually take out, defenses and help the tanks actually get the base. So if they did something like that, it would kind of be like League of Legends or Dota with helicopters instead of, knights and wizards and crap. It would be beautiful. All right. So I was talking to him about that, and I was like, if you want to beat Heliborn at their own game, do that, because your thing flies way better than I can't name a game. Like Comanche, right? Comanche 4. Have you played it? His thing kind of flies like Comanche 4,
Oh, I love
where
the
it's just
Comanche games.
accessible. Yeah, it's like that in a Hind. But you can then turn it on like a more simmy mode where you actually have to obey the laws of gravity and physics and stuff. So it's not like you're flying a UFO. If you turn it all the way down, yeah, it's a UFO. But that's okay because some people want it that way. So, it's to each their own. But then I showed him like Nuclear Strike and Desert Strike and this stuff. And I'm like, dude, you got all these assets, right? And you made this game, and I'm gonna help him with some missions and stuff. If I look at the script and how it's written, if it turns out like it's Lua or something, I can crank missions out for him, and we'll go that route. But yeah, I'm gonna contribute to this Hind game as hard as I can because it looks really good, and it's got multiplayer co-op. Hunter and I played a mission last night, got in there and screwed up an air base together, and it was
that
hella
was
fun.
awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like we're just doing like rocket strafing runs at stuff along the runway and killing tanks and crap, and yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and he's gonna change the one thing, Hunter. You know how we were reloading in the air and it was kind of offensively arcadey. He said he's heard back from a few people like, no, you should go land to do that. And I was like, yeah, totally. And
I dig that. Yeah.
yeah. So my other thought was, hey, you got the map, and well, there is no map, right? But you're on this map, and you could actually like take a JPEG picture of the map, from above, okay? And then if I'm playing on the hardest level, don't put big red diamonds around all the enemies from like miles away, right? Just circle an area on the map and be like, yeah, the bad guys are here. And then, it's not a magic map with enemies on it. It's just, here's the terrain, here's where you are, here's your base. But it doesn't show where you are, it doesn't show where the enemies are. It's like having an actual paper map in the cockpit. Like, where the hell am I, and where am I going? And you look at the terrain, and try to like follow a road or something. If you want to play it like on hardcore, because the Hind doesn't have radar. It doesn't have like a moving map system or any of that fancy crap, man. This is like, like late 70s Russian technology. So it's like vacuum tubes and hydraulics and steam pump stuff. I don't know. It's like a steampunk helicopter. So, but it's like, just make the player deal with it. 'Cause if you want to play it like super hardcore, then do it. And especially for like multiplayer, where it's oppositional, because you can play co-op together and actually play through the campaign together. He's only got like 5 missions in it right now, which is kind of a demo thing. But you can play it totally like bro-op through the thing, or you can play deathmatch and team deathmatch right now. And I was just like, well, why not have like an oppositional map mode where it's, I'm not necessarily having to fight the helicopter on the other team.
Is he gonna change the your acceleration as you descend?
Yeah, we talked about that, and it was like he was saying, he's got a top speed for the helicopter. So basically, as you descend, you do accelerate, but then you hit that top speed. And I was like, okay, well, what about that top speed is what you're limited to in straight and level flight, but if you dive, you can exceed it. But if you exceed it by too much, then the helicopter starts to shake, and if you go past that, you crash, right? So, like, and do that, like, again, on pilot level, but you're going to have blade stall, and I kind of explained how blade stall works and stuff to it. It just depends. He's doing vector math already. I'm just like, well, the angle and what component of my movement is actually forward, so you can accelerate me by that amount, and the math's already there. It's like you don't have to fake the physics, because it's doing it, and you just make the helicopter shake a little bit. If I go like say 20 miles an hour over what I'm supposed to be able to, and then if I go double that, I fall out of the sky like a rock because I went into blade stall. So he said he's going to think about it. It depends. I mean, it's kind of like he's getting close to release on this thing. He's to the point now where the engine is done, the units are done, all the flying stuff is done, and he's doing like final test of that, which is what we're doing. And
This
then,
is gorgeous. I'm playing
isn't
it
it?
right now. Oh my god.
Are you playing it at pilot or are you playing it on the easy skill?
I'm playing it with the mouse keyboard on the easy because I didn't
Oh,
know.
no, turn the difficulty up to pilot. You can still play mouse and keyboard, but it feels much better. Like I had trouble playing it at the normal. Are you streaming it?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's on it right now.
I'll pull it up. In fact, I'll fire mine up and host multiplayer. How's that grab you?
Okay. I'm still doing the tutorial. Let's see. Oops, wrong one. Okay. This is bloody gorgeous. How right now, Murphy? This is stunning. Clouds, the trees, everything. Makes me almost forget the digital integration game. Who? Digital who?
All right, so let me teach you some keys. Hit the C key to change your camera, and you can
Oh.
actually get in the cockpit.
Ah!
If you hold the middle mouse button down, you can look around. That's like your free head movement.
Does not seem to be working. That's okay.
Yeah, it might not work in the cockpit. It might only work external view.
No, it doesn't. That's weird. That doesn't matter.
Well, if you hit E, or is that moving your gun around? Because the E key lets you like look around with the gun. So where you have that white box and it's moving
Oh.
around separate from your crosshair, that's actually where your gun is going to shoot. Yeah, try the middle mouse button in the external view, because he just told me about
Nope.
this today. I haven't
Nope.
had a chance to try it. I think that's the same deal as holding the E key down. Then is what that's doing.
The E
So-
key does work, but the middle mouse
Okay.
button does not for some reason.
All right, I'll talk to him about that tomorrow.
The controls are pretty responsive.
But yeah, God, I love this thing.
This is pretty great. This is pretty. Oh, there we go. And boink.
So, yeah, other thing, if you hold the F key down, it focuses your view on whatever your mission waypoint is,
Oh,
which I don't
neat.
know if you have one right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's super cool.
Okay, let's do some multiplayer. Have you played it there? Have you played? Oh, I unlocked a weapon. Yay me! Okay.
Oh yeah, it's got like some progression stuff through it.
That's funny. Have you played that other game of theirs? The Flying Tigers one. It's pretty
Yeah,
good
I own it.
actually. All right, are you hosting something?
I will in just a second. I gotta find the icon.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm just gonna move this over here. Okay, so I can actually see the chat room now. Okay. There we go. All right, so you can do co-op missions in here as well?
Absolutely.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm gonna host it up here.
Okay. I wonder whatever happened to our guest.
That's a
I
great
couldn't even
question.
guess.
This is so confusing. You know, Nicole was asking me about it, though. She was texting me.
All right, game's up.
She was asking if that's the first guest who... Oh, I see it. Who has bailed on us, and I think it is. Or at least flaked out, or whatever. Or who just hasn't shown up. Yeah, I think that's the first guest we've had just not show up. Okay, capturing a city.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet.
Oh,
You coming in
select
here, Hunter?
No,
Okay.
I found another way to get into the military base.
Oh, okay, cool.
Military base?
GTA.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that game that you should have, but you don't.
All right.
Actually, this is a fun way to get in. Actually, I like it a lot.
I wish there was a way to like get in through the sewer or something. That would be
Actually,
sneakier.
there was a thing where I actually drove an RV up to a certain spot and like climbed in and just like walked around for a little while before they actually found me. And now I'm in a
Oh.
jet.
Hey, the middle mouse button thing
and
works
I'm
for
taking
me.
off.
I'm holding the middle mouse button down. I'm looking all around.
No, it's still steering my. It's still steering my craft. Oh well, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
weird.
And I stole a jet.
All right, so G key to pull your gear up.
Right.
Do you have it on pilot level?
No, actually.
Oop, then I crashed because the freaking cat's walking in front of me. Freaking cat.
Mission failed.
Yeah, because I crashed.
Oh.
Either one of us dies, we're done. But
Oh.
the cat decided like that was the moment to walk in front of my keyboard.
Kitty.
Anyway, I'm gonna take the host down for a sec. Or maybe we can change difficulty here. I really want you to switch it off easy and go to pilot, because it's way different.
Okay. I mean,
So Brian, what other games have you been playing lately?
Elder Scrolls Online.
How's your experience so far been with that?
Loving it. Absolutely loving it. It's not like as awesome as Skyrim, but I wasn't expecting it to be.
Well, if you ever want someone to play with, let me know, because I'll jump in and play with you.
Oh, I'll
Okay.
totally play that too.
Let's see.
I've been wanting to get back into it.
Set up
Yeah, I've
controls.
got a really low level wizard that I've been working on.
So pilot. Ow! Ow! No!
Oh, you got cat issues too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, she wants to be fed. No, I want to.
We'll feed her to the wood chipper. Oh, you mean feed the cat? Okay.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna put it on pilot. We're gonna confirm. I want to confirm. Why can't I confirm?
Like I just got $2,000 for good behavior after stealing a jet from the military base. Okay,
Nice.
GTA. Okay.
That makes GTA logic. Anyway, you should be able to just back out with escape and go back
Yeah.
in, make sure it stayed on pilot. But then
I'm pretty sure it did. Let me just double check.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still on pilot.
because being on pilot, then you have momentum and a little bit of weight to the
Oh.
thing, and it will fly as you expect. Like, you cut collective and well, like if you go to stop, right, you pull back on the mouse and the nose comes up, you're gonna drop. But if you don't do that, then you can't use that to control your altitude. And so it's like the only thing that controls altitude is collective in the easy way, the easy mode. But here you can actually dive, because before you could point the nose down, you just won't go down. So
Oh, I have to select an aircraft.
but yeah, man, I want this helicopter, this engine, playing Desert Strike. That would be just beyond awesome. All right,
Let's try this again.
with less crashing this time.
Yes.
Less cats.
One of the benefits of having a smallish desk is that the cat can't get up here. There's no room for her.
That's a cat that just doesn't try hard. My cat doesn't give a shit there's a keyboard there.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. There's.
Yeah, it's a little bit more helicopter.
Definitely.
Yeah, like after playing this last night, I was like, alright, I'm installing Arma 2 in the Hind mod. Totally doing it. Oh yeah, mouse wheel rolled in and out, zooms in and out.
Oh wow, you can see guys. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Move, move, move.
Yeah, it's smooth like butter, isn't it?
I know, this is pretty great. Yikes, 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 yikes. Woohoo! Wow, that is pretty great.
Oh, if you run out of ammo, spacebar switches which pylon you're shooting from. And if you totally run out, then you hit Q and it'll rearm. Because you don't have to go land to rearm yet, but he's putting that in.
Oh, cool.
Wow, and I got like some kind of gun shooting the shit out of me.
Woo! Oh, I'm hugging the dirt. Oh, yeah. Woo! Oh, ow. Can't get me, can't get me. I'm gonna kill all you bitches. Ow, ow.
Hey, what's the name of the guy?
Can't think of his name right now.
Our guest. Who is our guest supposed to be?
Oh,
Don? Yeah, I saw his email.
Cause he's up in public channel right now.
Oh, well.
what was the deal?
He was helping his daughter with homework, apparently.
Oh, well, yeah, that's priority. 'Cause
All right.
You don't want her to grow up and hate him.
Yeah, no, I'm hurting here. I'm hurting. I'm hurting here. I'll write him back and say, look, we'll have to reschedule because I don't have the energy to do this right now.
Oh, no, I'm gonna be going to bed soon myself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I have no more reloads. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's one concern that I've kind of got is like the balance of enemies' ammunition. Like if you're not super conservative, I've not been able to kill everything unless you're like highly accurate. So that's a deal where I think, it would be gamey or whatever, but it would just be like, hey, you know what? Have a supply cache somewhere that I can find.
Yeah, like
Right.
I'd like
And,
to
like-
I'd like to land at. I'd like to be able to land at. Oh.
But anyway, yeah, this is pretty boss though.
I dig it. I dig it.
And I like how the multiplayer is just like, it just works. There's no BS, and it's like 3-player co-op.
Yeah. At least. Why am I not slowing down? I'm trying to slow down. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So are you using A and D to turn left and right, or were you doing it all with the mouse?
I was doing it all with the mouse.
Oh, use A and D to turn left and right. The mouse
Oh, I was trying to land.
Yeah, you need your landing gear down for that.
I
so-
was putting it down.
You gotta put it down faster.
Uh,
But anyway, so that's that.
I don't see it going down on your stream, Brian.
it was, but apparently I hit the ground. Hey, 14 kills. All right, man. Folks, I'm going to stop the stream. We're going to call it a night. I'm exhausted. I think we all are a little bit. So thank you, everyone, for watching this very random stream. But what are you going to do?
It has been random.
It has been
Stream
random.
Was random.
But, I think we made the best of it. Thank you, as always, Jim and Hunter. And, guys, we'll see you next week with
You bet,
Stark.
man.
And we'll see you next week with Stark.